Hi, this is Rachel.
Hello, this is Rowan. This is week 4 of the podcast. We are overjoyed to be here.
It's a noisy Friday, September 28th, as we record this. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but in the background we have a trumpet player and the mosque across the street. So, yeah.
We live in Asia.
It's a normal Friday.
Yep.
So, Ro, what's been going on this week? I've been away.
So, this week, we didn't have most of our regular rhythms this week because it's school holidays and a whole bunch of other things are happening. But we did have a very magical community lunch. I feel like this week, high season just sort of took off. Lots more people around in town. So we probably had about 60 people at community lunch. It was really big. Naomi made this beautiful rainbow brown rice salad. So all the different colours of the rainbow with vegetables and different sauces to put on top and nuts and seeds, and it was just delicious.
And rice to fill your belly.
Yes, lots of yummy brown rice. And lots of, little people running around and kombucha, and it was delicious. And we had lots and lots of people who just kind of stuck around all afternoon. Like usually by about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, at least half of the people have left from lunch. But this week everyone just stayed around. Yeah. There was music, there was people from everywhere together, which is always just so beautiful, singing with different accents or even in different languages. I just love that. And then one of our friends from Spain ran a little bit of a contact improvisation dance session out on the lawn, which is just that sort of beautiful kind of dance where you're always in contact with somebody else and you're moving around. It's very flowy and beautiful. And then there were some friends making jewellery on the grass and the sun was setting.
I love those kind of Sundays.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. It was really lovely weather, quite warm, but no rain and kind of rainbowy kind of skies. Yeah, just gorgeous. It was very magical. Yeah, and you weren't here because, tell me what you were doing this week.
Well, I went to help a friend in Bangkok, and so she needed to go somewhere else, and so I went to help with her kids, and they were sick. So, I was just basically in a hotel room with a couple of sweet little sick girls, and they're getting better now, and I came back yesterday, but I was living the city life in Bangkok, which is like riding on the sky trains. I brought the girls on the sky train and their grandma, and they all loved it. The grandma especially, she loved the sky train. And everybody got to put their own little ticket into the ticket snatcher, and it was kind of fun. City life, but I'm so happy to be home. So happy to be home.
We certainly missed you around here this week, right?
It was all very unexpected. Very kind of an adventure, and I took an exam. I took an exam. I took an exam to kind of see if I can have the equivalent of a bachelor's degree in order to maybe start taking some online classes. So
awesome.
That was pretty fun.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I would like to remind everyone that this podcast is supported by you. Because this podcast is about meditation, we want to keep it ad-free. So our beloved patrons at patreon.com support us for as little as $1 a month. And patrons who pledge as little as $3 get extra audio every month. You can find us at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. Our extra audio should be out in the next few days for our beloved patrons.
Supporting the podcast helps to keep Shekina communities running and free for travelers and spiritual seekers. It helps us to know that you appreciate what we're doing and putting the podcast out into the world. So thank you, patrons. You are the best.
Yes.
You are as shiny as new fish.
So shiny.
Swimming in the water. Glittering in the sun.
Glittering. So today's podcast, friends, is going to be an imagination meditation on the story of the woman who touched the hem of Jesus' robe. It's guided by Ray on location at Shekina Garden here in Pai. You can find this story in Matthew 9, Mark 5, or Luke 8. Let's begin.
Christ-centered meditation is about creating space in our minds. It is a time of quiet that allows room for the Spirit of God to speak to our hearts. We learn to master our thoughts and come back to a place of focus again and again, to be quiet before the divine presence of God, and to spend time with a single thought or idea. Meditation is a Christian practice like prayer or study, worship or fasting. As with all practices, there are easy and hard days. But as we bring this practice into our lives, we grow with it over time. We learn to love this spacious place with God, who invites us to grow in the silence with Him. If you find that you are distracted and need to keep drawing yourself back to your focus, do not be discouraged. This is the muscle that you are exercising with meditation, and I believe that this act of refocusing is the heart of meditation. Be kind and encouraging to yourself as you practice. You can follow along alone or with others in a quiet place, outdoors or at home. A quick warning: we don't recommend meditating while driving. Be safe. An imagination meditation is a child's kind of exercise. It's like when we take a moment to actually try to enter into a story and imagine that we are there. Mm-hmm. So you can do this in a number of ways. You can imagine that you are a character in the story, or a fly on the wall, or however you choose. But you're going to play with your ideas of sense, like your senses, your taste and touch and smell and hearing and sight. And I'm going to be guiding you with questions. So what do you see? What do you hear? And it's really your chance to engage with the story with the way you would in your own senses. So yeah, be as playful as you can be with it, because it will help. And then, the third part, we share from our hearts about what we experienced. And you're welcome to share or to pass. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but I will pass the talking stick around the circle, and we listen to each person who's sharing without offering critique on what they share. And this part of it kind of cements it a little bit. To hear other people's experiences and to be able to express our own brings the meditation more clearly into our own hearts, I think. So those are the three parts. Let's begin. So start by finding a comfortable way to sit, and you are free to move around and adjust your position during the meditation. You don't have to hold one way. I often will remind people that lying down is an invitation to sleep when you're in a meditative state. So it is good to stay upright if you can, but whatever your body needs, just make it happen during the meditation. And begin by focusing on your breath. As you draw air into your body, follow it with your thoughts. And as you exhale, imagine it going out into the air around you. Your breath that sustains you. As it slows and calms, imagine that it's calming your mind. Allow it to draw you into a quiet place. Bring your awareness to your sense of touch. To the place where you are connected to the ground or the chair. Feel the air on your skin. You are always in contact with the outer world. Bring your awareness to the sounds around us. Find the smallest, quietest sound that you can hear. Find the most distant sound. There are many sounds around us. We have man-made sounds and nature sounds. And during the meditation, you can use sound to draw you back into your focus. Suddenly a sound reminds you that you're drifting, or you can use it in your meditation. This is a place of love. And you have been invited here by the Spirit of God. We come with many thoughts. Our minds move quickly. Thoughts of what's happened already today or what will happen later on. Lists. Imagine for a moment that you're standing and your thoughts are flying around you like small birds in a circle. Take a moment to watch them go by. When you're ready, step out of the circle of birds into a clear, wide space. A quiet space. The birds will be there for you when you're finished today. So if you find yourself back among them during the meditation, imagine that you step out again. Step out of them into the clear, quiet space. This is your place to meet with the Spirit of God. If you have a question that you bring for the Divine Presence, or something you'd like to say, or an intention that you have, if you feel comfortable, you can offer it up now in your mind. Within you, just ask that question, or offer the intention, or make an invitation. Imagine that you are in a crowd of people in ancient Israel. This is 2,000 years ago, a small town at the side of a lake. What does it look like? What do you hear? What does it smell like? The crowd you're in is centered on Jesus. It is following him, walking with him, as he tries to get through the town to go and see a little girl who is sick. So Jesus is there, walking with his disciples close to him. Where are you in the crowd? Take a moment to envision where you are, how close you are to Jesus, and what he looks like. What you hear. What do you feel? As you are watching, a woman comes very close to Jesus, behind him. She bends down and touches the fringe at the edge of his robe. Take a moment to truly picture this. What does it feel like? What does she look like? How do you react? And almost immediately, Jesus turns around and says, "Who touched me?" Peter, who's one of his followers, says, "Master, people are all around you. Everyone is pressing in and touching you." Jesus responds, "Someone touched me, for I felt power go out of me." What do you hear as the crowd responds to this conversation? What do you see? I'll repeat it. Jesus turns almost immediately and says, "Who touched me?" Peter, one of his followers, says, "Master, people are all around you, pressing in on you. Everyone is touching you." Jesus responds, "Someone touched me, for I felt power go out of me." The woman comes forward and falls down at Jesus' feet. She says, "It was me. I have been bleeding for 12 years, and no one has ever been able to heal me. I have spent everything I have on doctors. Until now, I have nothing left. I have been sick and rejected for all of these years. But as soon as I touched your clothes, I was immediately healed. I felt the blood stop. Remember to be there and to look at her, to see what she looks like, what the crowd looks like, what it sounds like. I'll read it again. The woman comes forward and falls down at Jesus' feet. And she says, "It was me. I was bleeding for 12 years, and no one has ever been able to heal me. I have spent all my money on doctors until I have nothing left. For all this time, I have been weak and sick and rejected. But as soon as I touched your clothes, I was immediately healed." Jesus says to her, "Your faith has healed you. Go in peace." What do you see? What do you hear? Jesus says to her, "Your faith has healed you. Go in peace." When you are ready, bring yourself back to the circle to rejoin us. And we'll begin our sharing circle. When you are ready, take a few deep breaths and begin your time of journaling or sharing with others. Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation each week, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Have a beautiful week. Blessings to you.